Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin ng wasto at nararapat. Kagandahang asal ang ipakita, ipadama ang pusong may malasakit. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Sakali mang tayo'y subukin ng unos, ating haharapin ng walang takot. Sasamahan ka ni Fernan at Dino, ang bagong barkada mo. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na.
Fernandinho Teens TV.
Uy, Dino, tirik na tirik ang araw ah. Bakit naka-jacket ka?
Oo nga eh. Ang laki naman ng dala mong payong, Fer.
Paano naman kasi? Paglabas ko kanina, ang dilim-dilim, kaya akala ko uulan.
Manghuhula ka na rin pala ngayon, no?
Malay ba natin kung uulan mamaya o hindi? At least, nakaredy na ako kung sakaling uulan. At nagbasa ako kagabi ng lesson natin tungkol sa probability. Kaya siguro advance ako mag-isip ng mga posibleng mangyari.
Wow, ang galing ah! Ang mabuti pa, Fer, panoorin na lang natin ang panibagong episode ngayon na magtuturo sa atin na maging matalas ang pakiramdam at pag-iisip sa pag-alam ng mga posibleng mangyari. Tara! Let's G!
Hello there, everyone! Welcome to another episode of Fernandinho Teens TV Season 2. I am Ma'am Laarni Pineda, your mathematics teacher for today. Have fun in learning another fascinating topic. But first, let me ask you a few questions before we begin this session for today. Is it possible to determine the chance of the occurrence of an event? If given a chance, then can you predict the chance that something will or will not happen? Many things in life are uncertain. These questions can be answered with words such as maybe, likely, perhaps, or probably. We ask such questions because we are uncertain whether such events will occur or not. Let us look at some real-life situations. Situation number 1. If a ball is released from a certain height, then can you accurately predict whether it will fall or not? Exactly! Based on Newton's law of motion, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Therefore, a ball released from a height can be accurately predicted that it will fall. Let us proceed to situation number 2. On a sunny day, is there a chance that it will rain? Very good, Fernandinho Teens. A situation like it will rain today or not cannot be accurately predicted. Lastly, to alleviate the current pandemic situation in the world, a lot of pharmaceutical companies have developed different COVID-19 vaccines. If a person is vaccinated, then can we say that he or she will not be infected anymore by the virus? Fantastic! Using probability, researchers and vaccine developers can predict the chance of a person to be infected by the virus despite being fully vaccinated. The likelihood of happening such unpredictable events is studied under probability. Fernandinho Teens, sit back and enjoy our topic for today, which is about probability of events. In this lesson, you are expected to, first, define probability, experiment, outcome, sample space, sample point, and event. Next, list all the possible outcomes of a particular event. For the third, appreciate the moral lesson that probability gives in life by realizing that life is full of chances. Last, solve simple problems involving probabilities of events. What comes into your mind when you hear the word probability? Very good. Probability is the branch of mathematics concerned with analyzing the chance that a particular event will occur. Its purpose is to attempt to predict the likelihood that something will or will not happen. Probability is always between 0 and 1 inclusive, as presented in the probability line. It can be in the form of a fraction, a percent, or a decimal. When an event is impossible to happen, its probability is 0 or 0%. The closer the probability is to 0, the less chance it is to happen. While if the event is unlikely to happen, then the probability is 1/4, 25 hundredths, or 25%. An event has an even chance to occur if the probability is 1/2, 5/10, or 50%. If the event is likely to occur, then the probability is 3/4, 75 hundredths, or 75%. If an event is certain to occur, then its probability is 1 or 100%. The closer the probability is to 1, the more likely it is to happen. Let us have these examples in identifying whether an event is impossible, possible, or certain. First item, August comes after July. This event is certain because after July, we have the month of August. For our second example, you will pass the test next week. It is possible to happen. It is more likely to happen if you will review your lessons. On the other hand, it is less chance to happen if you will not review your lessons. Let us proceed to the last example. There are 9 days in a week. It is impossible to happen since we have only 7 days in a week. At this point, it is your turn to identify whether an event is impossible, possible, or certain. If you are watching via YouTube channel, comment a sad emoji if your answer is impossible. a like sign if your answer is possible, and a heart emoji if your answer is certain. Are you ready, Fernandinho Teens? Let us get started. Item number 1. A mother will give birth to a baby. Will you comment a sad emoji, a like sign, or a heart emoji? Great! The correct answer is like sign. The event that a mother will give birth to a baby is possible to happen. Now, let us proceed to item number 2. A carabao will climb a tree. Is this a sad emoji, a like sign, or a heart emoji? Excellent, Fernandinho Teens. The correct answer is sad emoji. It is impossible for a carabao to climb a tree. Finally, there are 12 months in a year. Will you comment a sad emoji, a like sign, or a heart emoji? Awesome! The answer is heart emoji. This is a certain event since there are 12 months in a year. You will learn more on probability experiments and sample space as Fernandinho Teens TV Season 2 returns, so stay tuned!
Ang Schools Division Office City of San Fernando, Pampanga ay kaisa ng Department of Education sa pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral. Inilunsad ang Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors upang magbigay ng educational at psychological assistance sa mga mag-aaral, magulang at stakeholders ng division. Kaya, kung may nais kayong itanong tungkol sa pag-aaral, maaaring magpadala ng mensahe sa Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors Facebook page o tumawag sa mga numero na makikita sa ibaba ng inyong screen tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa ganap na alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Maaari rin kayong sumangguni sa ating guidance counselors na nagbibigay ng guidance and counseling services. Lahat ng inyong ibabahagi ay mananatiling confidential. Ang nasabing programa ay nagsisilbing daan upang malaman ang feedbacks ng stakeholders para matulungan ang ating divisyon na mapagbuti pa ang mga sumusunod na programa. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Tumawag na sa aming mga numero o bumisita na sa aming Facebook page at magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan.
Fernandinho Teens TV.
Welcome back! You are still tuned in at Fernandinho Teens TV Season 2. Earlier, we have identified whether an event is impossible, possible, or certain. Since we have said that the event a mother will give birth to a baby is possible, what are the possible outcomes? Awesome! The baby could be a boy or a girl. In the given example, the result depends on a chance. Activities such as drawing a card at random and spinning a wheel are called probability experiments. It is a process that produces well-defined results and generates sets of data called outcomes. The set of all possible outcomes is the sample space or probability space. It is usually denoted by S, and we put all the outcomes inside the braces, while the total number of possible outcomes is denoted by N of S. Each individual outcome in a sample space is a sample point. It is an element of a sample space. For deeper understanding on the concepts, let us have these examples. First, drawing a card at random from a set of number cards from 1 to 10. In this experiment, there are 10 possible outcomes. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the sample point is 9 or any number from the sample space. Another probability experiment, spinning a wheel. Observe the color wheel reflected on the screen. If you spin the wheel, the pointer will never fall on the lines separating the 4 sectors. Therefore, the 4 possible outcomes are red, green, blue, and orange. The sample space is red, green, blue, orange. And the sample point is blue or any of the other colors from the sample space. Lastly, drawing a card at random from a set of cards with the days of the week written on them. In the experiment, there are 7 possible outcomes, namely Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The sample space is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the sample point is Sunday or any day of the week. Now that you can illustrate the concept of a sample space and a sample point, let us have a short activity. In each experiment, identify the sample space and the total number of possible outcomes. If you are watching via YouTube channel, then you may type your answer on the comment box. Or if you are watching via television, you may write your answer on a piece of paper. Are you ready, Fernandinho Teens? Item number 1. There are 4 red blocks and 3 blue blocks in a box. Identify the sample space and the total number of possible outcomes if a block is picked at random. Since there are 4 red blocks and 3 blue blocks, R represents the outcome of getting a red block, and B represents the outcome of getting a blue block. The following represent the outcome of getting a red block. We have R sub 1, R sub 2, R sub 3, and R sub 4 respectively, while the following represent the outcome of getting a blue block. We have B sub 1, B sub 2, B sub 3 respectively. Will you identify the sample space? Very good. The sample space is R sub 1, R sub 2, R sub 3, R sub 4, B sub 1, B sub 2, B sub 3. How about the total number of outcomes in a sample space? Correct. The total number of outcomes is 7. Now, let us proceed to item number 2. In spinning a wheel, the arrow will never fall on the line separating the 6 sectors. What is the sample space? Excellent, Fernandinho Teens. The sample space is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Will you give the total number of outcomes in a sample space? Great. The correct answer is 6. Third item. The experiment is tossing a standard octahedral die. Will you guess the number of faces of an octahedral die? Correct. An octahedral die has 8 faces. How about the sample space? Awesome! The sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Find the total number of outcomes in a sample space. Excellent! The total number of outcomes is 8. Now, let us proceed to item number 4. Drawing a card at random from a deck of 8 identical card suits labeled from 2 to 9. Will you identify the sample space? Great! The sample space is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How about the total number of outcomes in a sample space? Fantastic! The answer is 8. Let us have the last item. In spinning a wheel, assuming that the arrow will never fall on the line separating the 6 sectors, how do you describe the sample space? Terrific! The sample space is blue, green, yellow, orange, pink, violet. How many outcomes are there in a sample space? Very good. The total number of outcomes is 6. On the next part of the discussion, we will solve problems involving probabilities of simple events. Are you ready? I am certain that you are, but we will discuss these concepts after a short break. So stay tuned!
Maya po oras kaya kayo, Fernandinos. Ako pala ay Elwin Arl Serrano ng City Tourism Office ng Siyudad San Fernando. Ngayong bulan na ini, pagmasusyan tayo ang National Heritage Month na ating temang Victory and Humanity, Upholding Filipino Heritage and Identity. Kambena nini, metong karang aktibidades na ng siyudad, atin ng launching ng bayong Heritage Passport. Yung Heritage Passport, apin ng metong karing proyekto ng kaya katamong siyudad, yung pamanamuna ng Mayor Edwin D. Santiago. Anong nuka rin makalagelangan ding eganagan ng heritage sites, heritage structures, na akit tamo kin kay katamong heritage district. Makakayado din kini, ding importansya da ding mapil na tradisyon kay ni syudad, kalupa ng pamangawang parol, ang poing pamangalesa. May awo siyang heritage passport, uling atin kang dapat gawan, anong nukaran puntalan mo lading at yung passport, at saka ka mag-selfie. Kay ba't kanta, palto making tourism office, at mamielang sticker ka rin eganaganang apuntulan mong lugar. At timong may ngari ang tutong passport. Balo mi ngeni, panahon na ini, etamo makain bisa lumal, uli na ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman kimbanwa ngayon agkatan ko ding bikers tamo, edad 18 hanggang 50, imbis na lumaot kayo po, di na nyo lang dita ka oras di kaya katamong heritage structures, kaya ni syudad. Anya naman karing mumunang 50 bikers ang makayari kaya katamong heritage passport, midinan lang premium only San Fernando loot bag. Inggawan nyo mo ba kanta makapag-register, punta kayo mismo opisina na ng City Tourism, yung munisipyo, at saka kayo magdalang metong valid ID. Kabinan kaya kayong heritage passport, ating makasipit ang instruction nung nano pa ing dapat gawan. Anya naman ka rin hanggang kapadyakin, nanano ko pa, tara na!
Fernandinho Teens TV.
Welcome back to Fernandinho Teens TV Season 2. Before the break, we have identified the number of possible outcomes of a simple chance situation. Now, we will find the probability of an event or an outcome. In probability, what is an event? Very good. An event is any subset of a sample space. It is simply the final or desired outcome in an experiment. In mathematics, we denote P of E to represent the probability of an event. The probability of an event is a number from 0 to 1, which tells how likely the event is to happen. It can be obtained by the formula P of E is equal to N of E all over N of S, wherein N of E is the number of favorable or desired outcomes, and N of S is the total number of possible outcomes. Let us apply this formula on the following situations, illustrating some probability rules. Rule number 1. The probability of any event can be expressed as a fraction, a decimal, or a percent from 0 to 1. For example, the weather forecast shows a 70% rain. The probability that it will rain is 70% or 7/10. Second rule. If an event will never happen, then its probability is 0. Example, drawing a card at random from a set of cards numbered from 1 to 5. Find the probability of getting a number 6. Since the sample space consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it is impossible to get a number 6. Hence, the favorable or desired outcomes is 0. The total number of possible outcomes is 5. Therefore, the probability of getting a number 6 is equal to 0 over 5 or 0. Rule number 3. If an event is sure to happen, then the probability is 1. Using the same set of cards numbered from 1 to 5, what is the probability of getting a number less than 6? Since all the given numbers are less than 6, the favorable or desired outcome is 5. The total number of possible outcomes is 5. Therefore, the probability of getting a number less than 6 is equal to 5 over 5 or 1. Lastly, the sum of the probabilities of all the outcomes in a sample space is 1. In the given set of cards numbered from 1 to 5, each outcome in the sample space has a probability of 1/5. Hence, the sum of the probabilities of all the outcomes is 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 is equal to 5 over 5 or 1. Let us have more examples in solving problems involving probabilities of simple events. Let us express your final answers in fractions on their simplest form. Let us consider this. There are 16 males and 24 females in a grade 8 class at the Pampanga High School. If a student is selected at random, then the probability that the student selected is a male is 16 over 40 or 2/5. Since the total number of students is 40. If a female student is selected, then its probability is 24 over 40 or 3/5. Example number 2. A pack of buttons has 10 white buttons, 8 red buttons, and 4 black buttons. If a button is picked at random, then the probability that the button picked is white is 10 over 22 or 5 over 11, since the total number of buttons is 22. If a red button is picked, then the probability is 8 over 22 or 4 over 11. While the probability that the button picked is black is 4 over 22 or 2 over 11. Last example. If a letter is chosen at random from the word Pampanga, then the probability that the letter A is chosen is 3 over 8, since there are 3 A's, and the word Pampanga consists of 8 letters. If letter M is chosen, then its probability is 1/8, since there is 1 letter M in the word Pampanga. Are you ready to have more activities in getting the probability of an event? I am certain that you are. So let us get started. If you are watching via YouTube channel, then you may type your answer on the comment box. Or if you are watching via television, you may write your answer on a piece of paper. Item number 1. In Pampanga High School, grade 9 female students can choose one TLE subject. They may take cookery, beauty care, dressmaking, handicraft, computer science, or food processing. What is the probability that a grade 9 female student will choose computer science? Great! The correct answer is 1/6. They can choose one TLE subject out of the 6 choices. Let us now proceed to item number 2. In geometry, the following are quadrilaterals or 4-sided polygons: square, rectangle, parallelogram, trapezoid, and rhombus. What is the probability of choosing a quadrilateral which starts with letter T? If your answer is 1/5, then you are right. From the given example, there are 5 quadrilaterals, and the one which starts with letter T is trapezoid. How about the third item? If a letter is chosen at random from the word coronavirus, then what is the probability that the letter chosen is E? Awesome! If your answer is 0/11 or 0, then you are correct. There is no letter E from the 11-letter word coronavirus. Let us now proceed to item number 4. 12 identical cards are labeled from 1 to 12. Find the probability that a card drawn at random may be a number less than 13. Fabulous! The answer is 12/12 or 1. All the given numbers are less than 13. Lastly, Adriel is asked to choose a day of a week. What is the probability of choosing a day which starts with letter S? Excellent, Fernandinho Teens! The correct answer is 2/7. There are 7 days in a week, and Saturday and Sunday start with letter S. For the next part of the discussion, we will have a short game named Probability Wheel. Are you excited? More of this when Fernandinho Teens TV Season 2 returns.
Hindi lamang sa larangan ng pangkabuhayan apektado ang maraming pamilyang Pilipino, kundi maging sa larangan ng pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino. Inilunsad ng siyudad ng San Fernando ang programang Nurturing Environment and System for Thriving or NEST, isang education community pantry na naglalayon para sa isang malawakang pagtulong, paglantabay at paggabay na ang focus ay ang makapagbigay ng tulong at suporta sa ating mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng educational needs gaya na lamang ng school supplies, tutorial sessions, study tips, at iba pang mga pamamaraan na mas lalong makatutulong sa pag-angat ng ating edukasyon. Dahil hindi hadlang ang pandemya sa magandang kinabukasang naghihintay sa ating mga mag-aaral. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga kalahok sa programang ito? Sa pagtutulungan ng ating school administrators, guro, magulang, at iba pang mga miyembro ng ating komunidad gaya ng barangay officials at sangguniang kabataan ay siguradong magiging mas matagumpay ang programang ito. Paano nga ba ang magiging proseso ng naturang programa? Una, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Facebook group, ang Pampanga High School NEST Education Community Pantry na pangungunahan ng Educational Pantry Coordinator. Ang mga magulang, tagapangalaga at mga guro ay ia-add ng ating Educational Pantry members sa Facebook group na ito. Sa page na ito maaaring i-post ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga o sino mang miyembro ng Educational Pantry ang kanilang mga kahilingan o requests. Kailangan ding ilagay ang pangalan ng mag-aaral, grade at section para sa mas agarang aksyon. Oo nga pala, hindi lang requests ang pwedeng i-post. Pwede ring mag-post ang mga nais magbigay ng tulong o mga gustong mag-donate. Sabi nga nila, sharing is caring. Tandaan na ang Facebook group na ito ay pribado at posts na may kaugnayan lamang sa page na ito ang maaaprobahan. Mayroon din palang Google Form na ipamamahagi kung saan maaari nating isumite ang ating requests o kahilingan. Paano naman ang mga walang internet access sa bahay? Huwag mangamba dahil merong mga nakalaang drop boxes ang ating paaralan na kung saan maaaring ihulog ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang kanilang requests. Sa mga nais namang mag-donate ng school supplies, maaaring ilagay ang mga ito sa tabi ng drop boxes. Maaari ring mag-donate ng mga kagamitan o cash donation kaakibat ang pagsusumite ng deed of donation form. Pangalawa, mahalaga ang ugnayan ng mga guro at ng mga magulang o tagapangalaga sa programang ito. Gamit ang video calls o chats ay ipahahayag ng mga guro ang adhikain ng programang ito sa mga magulang o tagapangalaga. Maaari ring gawin ang orientation na ito ng face-to-face, kasabay ng schedule ng kuhanan ng mga module. Gaya ng nabanggit, hindi lamang mga bagay ang maaaring i-donate. Pwede ring mag-conduct ng tutorial session, study tips, at iba pang mga kagamitan sa pagkatuto gaya ng mga aklat o kaya ay gadgets. Ikatlo, ang requested needs ng ating mga magulang o tagapangalaga ay ililista ng ating NEST focal person. Ang mga coordinator naman ang mag-aayos ng mga ito. Ang advisors ng ating mga mag-aaral, guidance counselor, at iba pang mga guro ay ipaaalam sa ating mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang petsa at oras ng pamimigay ng requested needs na gaganapin sa paaralan. Sabi nga nila, it takes a village to raise a child. Kaya naman aktibo at iba yung pakikilahok ang inaasahan sa pagsasanib puwersa ng paaralan at barangay na siyang tutukoy sa pangangailangan ng bawat Fernandinong mag-aaral at kikilos upang matugunan ito sa tulong at suporta rin ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. Isang malawakang komunidad para sa isang produktibong educational community pantry ay tiyak na lilikha ng iba yung pagkilos upang maging mas magaan at madali ang pagkatuto ng bawat kabataang Fernandino. Kaya naman tandaan, magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan.
Fernandinho Teens TV.
Welcome back! You are still tuned in at Fernandinho Teens TV Season 2. At this point, we will solve problems applying the probability concepts we have learned. The game is entitled Probability Wheel. After the wheel spins and the arrow lands on a particular color, a question will be revealed. If you are watching via YouTube channel, then you may type your answer on the comment box. Or if you are watching via television, you may write your answer on a piece of paper. Are you ready, Fernandinho Teens? Let us start the game. Spin the wheel. The question on the blue sector of the probability wheel is the statement, Christmas Day falls on the 25th of December, is a or an blank event. Letter A, certain. Letter B, impossible. Letter C, possible. Amazing! The answer is letter A, certain. We are celebrating Christmas every 25th of December. For the next item, spin the wheel. Take this question on the green sector. Drawing a card at random from a set of cards with a subject in junior high school, math, science, English, TLE, Araling Panlipunan, MAPE, ESP, and Filipino written on them. What are the outcomes that comprise sample space? Excellent, Fernandinho Teens. The sample space is Math, Science, English, TLE, Araling Panlipunan, MAPE, ESP, Filipino. Let us now proceed to the next item. Spin the wheel. Here is the question on the yellow sector. A bag has 5 red balls, 1 black ball, 3 blue balls, and 8 yellow balls. What is the total number of possible outcomes if a ball is picked at random? Awesome! The total number of possible outcomes is 17. Spin the wheel for the next question. How about this item on the orange sector? 15 identical cards are labeled from 1 to 15. If a card is picked at random, giving you an odd number, which of the following is a sample point? Letter A, 2. Letter B, 6. Letter C, 9. And letter D, 12. Great! The correct answer is letter C, 9. Spin the wheel. Moving on to our question on the pink sector. There are 45 students in a class. 25 are boys. If a student is selected at random, then what is the probability of selecting a girl? Fantastic, Fernandinho Teens! Obviously, there are 20 girls in the class out of 45 students. Therefore, the probability that a girl is selected at random will be 20 over 45 or 4 over 9. Spin the wheel for the last question. Here is the question on the violet sector. If a letter is chosen at random from the word pandemic, then what is the probability that the letter chosen is a vowel? Remarkable! The correct answer is 3 over 8. The vowels in the 8-letter word pandemic are A, E, and I. Were you able to get the correct answers? Terrific, Fernandinho Teens! At this point, we will sum up what we have learned about probability. The next activity is entitled Probo Word. Find the answer to the following questions on the puzzle. If you are watching via YouTube channel, then you may type your answer on the comment box. Or, if you are watching via television, you may write your answer on a piece of paper. Item number 1. What is the branch of mathematics concerned with analyzing the chance that a particular event will occur? Great! The answer is probability. How about the second item? What are the possible results of an experiment? Excellent, Fernandinho Teens! The correct answer is outcomes. Let us have the next item. What is the set of all the possible outcomes of an experiment that is usually designated as S? Magnificent! The correct answer is sample space. Let us move to the last item. What is the individual outcome in a sample space? Great! The correct answer is sample point. Were you able to get the correct answers? Good job, Fernandinho Teens. Now, let me share to you some of the applications of probability in real-life situations. Probability is applied in everyday life, whether in a simple or a complex situation. Some applications of probability are related to weather forecast, sports, insurance, economics, laws, genetics, and other fields. Can you think of some ways on how you can apply probability in daily situations? Amazing, Fernandinho Teens! Did you learn something today? Great! Here are the references used in this episode. Again, this is Ma'am Laarni Pineda, your virtual grade 8 mathematics teacher, saying that life is full of chances. Be brave and learn to take risks to grab them. I hope you have learned with our session for today. Thank you and God bless.
Yun pala ang ibig sabihin ng probability, Dino.
Oo nga, buti na lang pala na i-apply ko ang konsepto ng probability at tama ang hula mo na may chance ang umulan ngayon. Kung hindi, basang sisiw sana tayo ngayon. Kaya naman, maraming salamat, ma'am.
Isa na namang makabuluhang talakayan ng ating nasubaybayan, Fernandinho Teens.
Samahan niyo kaming muli sa susunod na episode ng
Fernandinho Teens
TV Season, kung saan ang kabataang Fernandino ay angat sa angking talino.
Bagong umaga, yakapin mo ang bagong pag-asa. Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandinho Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuangatin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri